Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Chicago Bulls video. They actually just signed Stanley Johnson a couple of minutes ago. This is a really good addition. First off, the Bulls now, with the addition of Stanley Johnson, they now have one more open roster spot. So we'll see who they decide to go with there. I think it's going to be more front court, which we'll talk about in a minute. But once again, guys, if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. Stanley Johnson is 25 years old. He spent last season with the Toronto Raptors. He's 6'7". He has a 7-foot wingspan. This is a guy who offensively isn't going to do too much for you. Bulls fans would know, though, last year, or actually this year, technically, May 13th, he went off against the Chicago Bulls for 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was actually the number 3 prospect coming out of high school, 8th pick in the draft, went to University of Arizona, had a very good career there. Kind of surprising that he didn't have his success just didn't translate as well offensively in the NBA. This is a guy who last season averaged only 4.4 points per game, played in 61 games, only averaged about 16 minutes per game. So nothing statistically is going to really break. Nothing's going to go crazy except for that 35-point game. However, this is where he really benefits the Bulls. Like I said, they have one more open roster spot. So now they have a guy who can pretty much switch on to any defender 1 through 4. He can pretty much play defense against all 4 of those guys. I would consider him an above average defender, pretty below average offensive player, but I would say he's definitely an above average defender. This is just another good bench piece, more depth in case someone gets injured. You got Aldridge, you got Millsap. They both decided to go to Brooklyn, so this left the Chicago Bulls with a very limited options looking at the front court. He has a 7-foot wingspan, which is good because he's so interchangeable on defense. He can guard all those, like I said, 1 through 4, can switch on to any player pretty much, can even really guard a big man if he really has to in a pick-and-roll situation. But the best part about Stanley Johnson, statistically, I would say averaged 1 steal per game in his last 2 seasons, hasn't gotten over 16 minutes per game in the last 2 seasons. So that is a very good defensive stat there. But this puts the Bulls in a position to at least not rush any type of move in the front court. Paul Millsap and LaMarcus Aldridge both going to the Brooklyn Nets was very tough for the Chicago Bulls. I thought we were going to get at least one of them. I thought we were going to get Paul Millsap because of his ties with AK, so I was really surprised with that. But at least now the Bulls have a guy who is capable of guarding. I think he's a better small forward than power forward because he is only 6'6". Like I said, that 7-foot wingspan, he can guard the 4, he can play the 4. So I do hope the Bulls decide to go for a more consistent, reliable player, maybe a little bit older, preferably on the veteran side. At that 4, that backup 4, the Bulls still do need that backup 4. But now at least you know you have Stanley Johnson. You at least have a good defender. You can pick the matchups. You can pick the rotations. You can kind of insert him whenever you see fit. It just adds more depth and it adds more versatility, especially on the defensive end for the Bulls. So let me know down below if you guys liked this signing. I thought they did a very good job. I was very surprised by the signing, to be quite honest. Nothing really there offensively. The Bulls aren't really looking for anything there offensively for him. He's going to be a good defensive piece. Kind of see him as a more reliable defender than Troy Brown Jr., although Troy Brown Jr., different positions there. So that's it for today. Let me know down below in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the sub button. Peace.